Oops. Alright. Hey guys, I'm going to probably post this on Reddit, so I'll say hello Reddit, but my name's Wire Guitars and I'm a small community streamer for Dota 2. I wanted to introduce you guys to something that I guarantee you will climb at least 5 to 600 MMR with if you perfect it in the next few days before they nerf Iron Talon on live. I've been playing around with this and I think it's insanely overpowered, so without further ado I'll just get into it and show you what I'm talking about. We're going to look at a replay, I hope that's okay. This replay was at the 4700 bracket. There was a few things that happened in this replay that I had no control over, like my allies not getting crushed in lane, which may happen to you guys. But I want to show you this replay mostly as a point of demonstration to show you how insane, and I mean absolutely insane, your gold and EXP per minute can be in the jungle in this current patch with the item Iron Talon. I think this works on any single hero in the game at this current moment in time. I've tried Jungle Invoker, I've tried Jungle Treant, and Iron Talon does deliver in that respect. But I think this is better used on the junglers that were already pretty good in the patch, 6.84, who just got better, like Terrorblade. I think Terrorblade wasn't actually a good jungler, so I kind of take that back. I think this is actually better on heroes that can jungle if they just get a little bit of a boost, and Terrorblade is a good example of that. So what you do every game, you start Iron Talon, Fairy Fire, and a Clarity. I start these two items, but that's probably superfluous. It's not superfluous. I definitely use them. I'm using that word incorrectly. These two items are probably, to some degree or another, a little bit extraneous in your item build. You could probably start Iron Talon and just walk out of the base and save up for a quick Wraith Band if you wanted to. But I started these two items just to guarantee that I get a good jungle, and I'll show you how I use them effectively. So we'll speed up a little bit here. Watch over the rune. And you're probably going to start level 1 Metamorphosis. So that was pretty funny. I don't know if you saw that, but that Pudge hooked the Spirit Breaker who was charging in. But we don't care. I even commented about how funny that was. And so this is how you do it. You go over here. You try to... if you're on the dire side, you're going to try to Chokebo jungle in a second. But for the most part, you just wait for 30 seconds for the creeps to spawn. You go in and you Iron Talon. Now this is a pretty lucky camp because this camp is going to give me to level 2 and it's a pretty easy one to take. But... we'll go for player perspective. Whoops. But yeah, you just Iron Talon the big creep and kite it. I like to Iron Talon the creeps that are full HP because I want to get maximum value out of the current HP decrease. But yeah, you just do this and you kite and you kite and you kite. You get Metamorphosis level 1, Conjure Image level 2. And your skill build from that is usually going to be Metamorphosis level 3 because by the time you hit level 3, Metamorphosis will be about 50 to 30 seconds off of ready to be off cooldown again. So I kite this camp a little bit with Iron Talon because I don't want to take too much damage. But you'll notice I'm just letting my illusions tank and sending them back as soon as they get really, really low and using Iron Talon as much as possible. You do suicide with this jungle because it is how you be efficient. I use a Clarity on myself here. I send my thing in there. Notice how I sent my illusion in and I Iron Taloned it so it didn't attack me and pop my Clarity. You can literally kite with Iron Talon. That is how insanely strong this item is. So I went in there, I threw my illusion away, but kite like that. And look at that. That's 30 seconds. This creep is already half HP and I haven't taken any damage from it. So I'm just going to finish off this creep camp. I've got Metamorphosis up. It's level 2. And this looks a little dangerous. That's why I popped my Fairy Fire just to make sure that if somebody tries to come in... This guy's trying to stack my camp, which made me kind of mad, but whatever. He didn't actually stack it. Come in here. Micro, micro, micro. Kite with your illusions. And we'll check the GPM right now. As you can see, I am, granted, some of these guys have died and maybe they're having a hard lane, but I'm at 256 right now. This gets way better when you suicide, but even right now at the start of the game, you're not dipping into the 100 or 150 or low 200 ranges. You're at a respectable 240 GPM, which is about what you would expect to get as a dual lane. You suicide when you can buy everything out. You can see my Skywrath Mage is laughing. We'll see who's laughing in a little bit here, though, Kappa. Actually, I think he was trolling, because I usually tell people that the suicide is on purpose. So I bought out, buy all of your items before you die, of course, that's obvious. I bought a TP, I TP back in a lane, use your illusion, or cast your illusion when you TP back in so that you can get the regen from the fountain. And then just keep kiting camps with your Iron Talon and your illusions. I should be using my Iron Talon right now. Even on small creeps I like to use it because it saves you an extra auto attack and the cooldown is so ridiculously short. Kite the camp. I hate taking Ursa camps, so I try to kite him back and get free shots on him whenever I possibly can. It's okay if it slows down your jungle a little bit. So the first items I like to go is Wraith Band into Ring of Aquila, and then I like to get another Wraith Band to supplement my stats. Also, it really helps. It gives you a nice little efficient, not efficiency. It gives you a nice little constant uptime on one of your illusions. If you get a wraith, if you get 2 wraith bands and a ring of Aquila, I find that with between Terrorblade's natural mana gain, 2 wraith bands, and one of them being a ring of Aquila, you will be able to keep one illusion up constantly if it doesn't die. So you'll be able to keep an illusion up, it'll expire, and then you'll be able to summon another illusion with your mana, which makes your jungle really efficient. And you'll watch as my GPM starts to skyrocket as I get more items and more levels. I'm currently at almost 300 GPM, and this is where I think this is the tipping point, is when you're at 300 GPM, your jungle is decent. My EXP, can I check EXP per minute? I can. My EXP per minute, as you can see, is also pretty respectable. Arc Warden, who is currently in the mid lane, kind of probably getting denied pretty heavily by a Shadow Fiend, but I am actually literally in the exact same EXP per minute, and that shows because I'm also the same level. Granted, like I said, he's getting denied pretty heavily, probably by a Shadow Fiend, who's also very high in EXP per minute. I also think maybe he died. No, he didn't die. He got a kill on my Shadow Fiend. But yeah, the Shadow Fiend's just denying the shit out of him and probably getting bounty runes. But all the same, you're not trying to outfarm Shadow Fiends. You're just trying to outfarm dual lanes. Because if you can outfarm a dual lane, you will be going into the mid game with 2 to 3 cores. Probably 3, because the current meta is like sending heroes like Shadow Fiend, and other carry heroes mid, like Ember Spirit and stuff like that. So there's 1 core. You've got your safe lane core, who's going to be, unfortunately, kind of having a hard time because he's going to be safe lane with only one support. And then you'll have yourself, and you as Terrorblade are definitely a core. So you'll have 3 cores. One of them is definitely going to be farmed. And then the other 2 are going to be in lanes, so hopefully their lanes go well and hopefully they get farmed. But you will definitely be farmed. And you'll watch as my GPM, I'm checking the scoreboard here, but you'll watch as my GPM just starts to skyrocket. It's 9 minutes in, so I don't feel bad about taking this easy camp. I doubt that anybody's going to want to pull that. And here you go. This is how insanely strong this is. Take camps, take camps, take camps. Let your illusions tank. Terrorblade has a natural 2.0 HP regen per second. Kind of like Batrider now with the new patch. Kind of like Ogre Magi a little bit, although he's got less than Ogre Magi. A lot of melee heroes that are carries, are supposed to be carries, have naturally higher HP regen than the normal hero in Dota 2. And Terrorblade's one of those heroes, so it helps for when you're jungling. It's 10 minutes in, 340 GPM. I guess not a whole lot else to say about this other than, you know, this is insanely strong. I recommend you do this in your games. This is 4.7k MMR. I can't stress that enough. And my team, you know, they're not getting crapped on. I'll say that's a good thing. That's a very good thing that they're not getting crapped on. I think that you don't need a tri-lane to at least not get crapped on. Like, most offlaners in the game at the moment, meta, and that was nice. That kid gave me mana, but he's trying to get a kill on this Pudge. And this is actually a waste of time. I shouldn't be doing this. But it'll give me some lane EXP and some lane farm, so maybe this is good. I want to slow down a little bit. Later on, my Tiny said that if I had been in a safe lane, I would have been getting more farm. And whilst there may be some merit to that, I think actually rotating between 3 camps, 1 hard and 2 medium camps, is actually more efficient than lane farm, and you'll see why. Because their safe laner, who I believe is Ember Spirit, oddly enough, who's also, to be fair, kind of getting crapped on, yeah, he's 0-2, is definitely not out GPMing me. And I'm kind of in a safe lane now, but I'll dip back into the jungle here in a little bit. I'll kill this kid, because Terrorblade's a very strong hero, but we won't focus on that, because this isn't a Terrorblade guide. This is more of like a, hey, Iron Talon is really strong guide. Although we can make this a Terrorblade guide. So anyways, I sunder that kid, I kill him, I kill the Rubik, double kill. Ignore all of that. I just shot up to the highest GPM per minute, but ignore all that. That did not need to happen, and that probably usually won't happen. That's just people underestimating how strong Terrorblade is, not knowing what his ulti does. And you'll get kills like that. If you play Terrorblade jungle the way that I'm doing it, you're going to get a lot of kills in this current patch with people that don't know what the heck your hero does because he hasn't been picked in like over 3 patches competitively in the professional scene. But again, we're not concerned about these kids making stupid mistakes. We're concerned about how much farm I'm getting in the jungle. And so Pudge got a Midas. Again, I don't care. It's weird, you know, whatever. But we don't care about that. And so you kind of you have the option once you especially get Boots of Travel, but once you get Yasha, you can just transition into the lane. I kind of like to farm up a Manta before I hardcore go into the lane, because Manta I find gives you that extra strength needed to escape ganks when people come for you. But you definitely want to have Boots of Travel when you start going into the lanes, Because Boots of Travel lets you go into the lane, pop illusions, go back in the jungle, farm that, and then TP back to base if you need to, or TP onto the other side of the map if things start to get a little dangerous on your side. And so I might die here, I can't remember. I think 2 or 3 people come for me. Maybe not. No, I don't die here. But yeah, anyways. Again, barring those kills, I've just been staying on top of my CS, and it really shows. I've got 138 creeps, 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes into the game. We're going to get this kill here, but I think the Tiny's going to die from the Spirit Breaker. No. Never mind. So we just get a free kill. Another free kill for me. Inflating my GPM more than it really should be. You can't expect these kills in your games. Yeah, somebody's going to die here. I knew it. And we do kill this kid, I think, but... Yep, we do. But I didn't kill him, so... You know. Hopefully I'm not super inflating my GPM. So then, I just TP back into base, I get Manta Style, and this is where the style truly shines. But the point, I'm going to pause the game, the point that I was really trying to make here is how insanely crazy, I'll say, how really good Iron Talon is. I'm not going to say it's overpowered just in case I'm wrong about this later on and it doesn't get nerfed and people start saying, oh, see, it was balanced the whole time. But I'm pretty darn sure this item is overpowered, and if nothing else, it's very good. And so what I recommend you do in your pub games is basically this. You pick somebody who can scale into the late game and farm the jungle at the early game. Lycan's a pretty good one for it, but I'd recommend trying to learn Terrorblade. This is mostly just a proof of concept kind of video, but if you guys want like an explicit, detailed 6.86 Jungle Terrorblade guide, I can put one out for you guys. I'm trying to keep this short and concise though, because I understand people don't have the longest attention spans in the world. So this is basically it. Let's try to get Volvo to at least recognize that this item is really strong, because we don't want our games getting taken over by junglers that are just AFK, right? Right, guys? Right? Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching.